Uh, I wonder. Alright. So it's live now. What's good with the footage? Just waiting for everything to load in with the footage. Alright. Alright. Today we'll be reading some interesting stories from the most socially decrepit website on the internet. I'm not sure if I used that word correctly or not, but it felt right in this situation. So, hi, Grave here. Uh, Let me get some background music up. Yeah, anyway, let me start up the music. Uh, let's get into it. So, first stories come from r/rejection stories because Reddit. I'm sure Reddit people get it. Okay, I won't make that joke. That's kind of mean. Let me get the first one. Okay, so the name of this story is Blocked and Exiled for Asking for a Chance. That title already seems promising. This is a tale I've carried with me for the last 9 months and will not let go. After being blocked for a while on Facebook in January, my crush finally unblocked me. One of the happiest days of my life. Wonder why you were blocked for in the first place. We started messaging each other practically every day, and all was going well. My ex, who is my best friend pretty much, even received details of what was happening and advised me on how to ask her out. Wow. So Valentine's Day rolled around, and I ended up asking my crush out over Messenger. She rejected me nicely and seemed understanding. Later in the day, because I wanted at least a trial relationship with her, whoa, I suggested trying her as my girlfriend for a week to see if all went well, and she replied with, "Sorry, I'm not interested." Bro, she seems pretty nice and understanding. What? She wasn't sorry. If she was sorry, she wouldn't have blocked me before I could reply with, "Okay, that's fine." Bro, this guy is so entitled. I received death glares at school, as well as her basically snubbing me to her friends, and even having her friends tell me, "X is going to miss you when we leave," met by parrying it perfectly with, "Of course she will. I'm fucking great." I even asked for us to become friends again on the last day of school through a text. To her blocked number, it was worthless. Well, I've moved on now, and when I get a girlfriend, she will pay the price. If her popularity is that valuable to her, she will watch it crumble before her very eyes. What the fuck? Bro, this guy is scary. No wonder she blocked him in the first place. Why is it like not? Why is it lagging? Hold up. Apparently, this stream is lagging. Even received details of what was happening at later in the day. Interesting. Well, if I'm just gonna go get some water. Alright, back. Anyway, on to the next story. Okay, wow, that one. Fun times while trying online dating. Matched with a cute girl on Hinge a few weeks back. Got her number almost right away, and we seemingly hit it off running. Within a week, we were sharing kissy face emojis, selfies, sweet messages, etc. We even FaceTimed every day for 2 weeks. Going so far as to fall asleep on call. It felt genuine. We had chemistry. We both openly expressed that we liked the other and wanted to build something. We had a good mixture of similarities and differences. We would often text each other things the other was thinking. We were open and honest with each other, but not in an overreaching way. But one of the main differences we had was that she was the social butterfly type, while I'm introverted. So we made plans to go for a hike for our first meeting, but changed to going to coffee because of the heat. I don't do well in casual social situations like that, but I figured if the feelings were genuine, it wouldn't matter too much and we could at least break the ice. Well, after an hour or so of slightly awkward conversation, she said she had made plans to go see a friend. We hugged and left. I texted her while make sure and tried to make light of the awkwardness, but she doesn't reply for almost 10 hours. When she does, she said she felt no connection. Doesn't see it going anywhere. Thanks for the happy memories, bye. Then she ghosts me. Whoa. We went from talking about hugging, cuddling, kissing, etc. to strangers in less than 24 hours. Wow. Damn. That man got man got it bad. Rejection on Valentine's. I got chocolate for a girl on Valentine's, and everybody knew. Going to fifth period, I walked up to her, and there were about 50 people watching. Before I could say anything, she screamed she screamed no and ran away. Ever since I've been numb to rejection. Bro, that can't be real. Bro, like dead ass. Bro, that's funny. Birthday party let down. So back in grade school, I got invited to a birthday party, and not fully a rejection story, but people said they wouldn't go because I went, and it hurt. Okay, so this person, nobody was going to the birthday party because he got invited. That's rough, Troy boy. In 7th grade, I was talking to the boys, and a popular cute Hispanic girl walked up to me walking up to me, red in the face. She asked if I was free after school and if I wanted to walk home with her. And I said no, in the most monotone and feeling voice I have ever heard in my own 3rd grade. She looked at me like I was a monster and slowly walked away to her group of friends. I felt bad afterwards because this girl is really nice and caring, and she was particularly nice to me because I'm not exactly a big person. What? I put her down like an old yellow. That's rough. That seems like he lied about that. Maybe it happened to him. Alright. If those stories weren't scary enough, we'll go to r/scary stories. These ones seem to be a bit like longer. Home Alone. I was about 9 or 10 years old when this happened to me, and my family decided to clear an extra room out in our apartment for me. And after we did, my sister, mom, and dad decided to go to Target. So it was only me and my older brother who were left alone on our apartment. So it was a windy day outside. So bro, what is this? Like, this has no punctuation. I'll put a picture up on screen, but like, I don't know where to stop or where to like, I don't know. There we go. I'll get the image. Because this is genuinely just like mad confusing. Like, what? I was about 9 or 10 years old when this happened to me, and my family decided to clear an extra room out in our apartment for me. And after we did, my sister, mom, and dad decided to go out to Target, so it was only me and my older brother who were left on our apartment. So it was a windy day outside, so we decided you can't do this in one breath, to close all the windows in our apartment floor so it doesn't knock everything or move curtains too much. After we did that, my older brother decided to go to sleep in his room, so it was only me who was left, and I decided to play video games in my living room. And on my right was the room we cleared out, and suddenly the door slammed shut, and I thought it was just the wind. But I remember that me and my brother closed all the windows in our apartment. So I had the sudden feeling of hiding. So I went inside my older brother's room and locked the door. And after I went into my brother's room, I heard walking outside his room. But my sister, my mom, and my dad weren't back yet. So it was just me and whatever that thing outside the room. And to this day, I still don't know what that was that slammed the door or what was walking outside of the room. Okay, this writes like someone who is probably like 11. So I'm just going to assume it was the older brother being a little bit mean and playing a bit of a mean joke on them. But you never know. Alright. What next? Bro, why do none of these stories have punctuation? Weird man in underwear. When I was 11, I used to wake up and go work with my dad in the summer. Well, that day I didn't feel so good, so I decided to stay home, and my dad woke me up screaming, asking me to wake up because. What? woke me up screaming, asking me to wake up because there was a man in underwear going crazy outside. And I thought he was just messing around since we like to mess with each other. But and he looked serious. So I decided to look outside. And sure enough, he was screaming, "Where are you? I'm looking for you." In this weird voice. I'm pretty sure he was high. I'm pretty sure high on something like cocaine or something. Well, he decides to go in front of my house and decides to grab a chain and starts banging it on the garage door. And I scream, "Dad!" And he run out with his gun. And he run out with his gun. And then he tries to open my front door. What? In fact, I think I'll get more fitting music for this. Alright, that works better. And he run out with his gun, and then he tries to open my front door. And just to inform you, I've never shot at someone, as I was just 11 and I've never shot a gun, and the only gun I trained on how to shoot was a small airsoft Glock. So back to the story, he tries to bang on the door and proceeded to try to open the front door, trying to push it open, and he finally gives up. And my dad goes out with his gun, and his neighbors' buddies jump in to help him. So I'm like, bro, this has like 0 punctuation. This is so hard to read. And his neighbor buddies jump in to help him. So my dad goes back in and calls the cops. So he doesn't terrorize the whole neighborhood, and they never showed up. So just imagine if he left and the guy was there at my door, and I found out a way to open my front door, and me with my uninformed ass not knowing how to shoot a gun could have been slaughtered. Well, best inform yourself on how to punctuate sentences. Alright, this one has punctuation. It's called Nothing Left. You get out of school on a Friday. You're hanging out with some friends at a pizza place. It starts to get into the evening and you decide you want to go to the mall to meet up with some friends. You get up with your friends and walk outside of the pizza place, and you realize something is different. Everything seems empty. You turn around and your friends are gone. The pizza place is empty. The lights are on, but the place is empty. You start walking the streets and everything is empty. All the stores are empty, but all the stores would have their lights on. You say to yourself, but there's no human around. No sounds of traffic, no sounds of planes, no sounds of birds, nothing. The sun starts to go down. You can't find your way home. You sit down against the building and stare up into the sky. You close your eyes. You awaken in your bed, relieved to find out it was just a dream. You feel something is off, but it's too quiet. You go downstairs and realize that your mom isn't making breakfast. In fact, your mom is gone. They put in gone, but I understand. So are your parents and your dog and everything. No TV, no couch, no pictures on the wall, nothing. The house is empty. Damn, they hit a lick on you. You go outside to see there is nothing. You're not in your neighborhood. Your crush's house isn't across the street. You go back inside and sit on the floor and start to panic and cry. After a few minutes, you decide to figure out what happened. You wipe your face and stand up, accepting the fact that you're in a world with nothing left. You open the door, all you see is darkness. You attempt to walk down, but you never progress down the stairs, as when you turn around, the doorway is still right there. You think to yourself, this is not Super Mario 64. What? You shut the door and think you should try to go back upstairs, but you never get any closer to the top. You finally go outside. Yeah, that's what Redditors need. You finally go outside, standing in front of a seemingly endless field. You look around until in one direction you see the tip of a tree. You walk straight in that direction, but struggle to get any closer. After walking for many minutes, you turn around to see that you are still at your house. You start to panic, but quickly regain yourself. You decide to walk backwards. You see your house moving away from you, and after 5 minutes, you finally find yourself under a tree. You turn around to see you are in a forest. You turn back around to see that your house is gone, and the endless field has turned into an endless forest. You wander for hours until you come upon storm doors in the ground. You enter them, and you are now stuck in a dark basement. You turn a corner into a hallway, and the basement has a series of dark hallways. You navigate yourself through the hallways and hearing noises that can't be described. Okay, you open it. You're back in your house, coming in from the basement door. Your family is sitting on the couch. Your dog comes running up to you. You go to bed and wake up the next morning. You come downstairs to see nothing. An empty house again. You go outside to see the endless field, but this time you don't see trees. You go back into your house and think. You stay at the basement door. You stay at the basement door. You open it to see the darkness. With no more options left, you turn and start walking backwards into the basement. You find yourself in the dark hallway again, lost. You try to navigate, remembering to keep calm so you can find your way. You find the storm doors again. You turn around, remembering to keep calm so you can find your way. You find the storm doors. What? You're now in this small room with nothing but white marble walls and a door. You walk through the door and onto the street. You recognize the street. You turn around and it's the pizza place again. It's still empty with the lights on. You turn around and you're back in the city, realizing you weren't dreaming before. You start to wonder, but then you feel more lost than before. Panic starts to take over, and the sun starts setting. You sit down against the same building as before, and you stare down the empty streets. A tear forms and rolls down your cheek as you realize everything has been erased except for you. Alright, that was a trip. One more story. Alright, so the last story is titled, oh my god, I'm a Wendigo living in Oregon. I really, really fucking hate monster hunters. I was born in Canada. While I lived there, I attended college. I was well on my way to becoming a professional boxer, and then I decided to take the weekend off with a friend before the finals near the end of the year. We were going to go hiking in the deep woods, and being very experienced while my friend was a newbie, I brought more than enough supplies. The first few days in, we were caught in a surprise blizzard, and I had to take shelter inside a cave for a few days. When we ran out of our stockpiled firewood, my friend ran in the snow and never came back. We were essentially out of food, so I ran out to look for her, and I found her body where she was frozen to death. Ouch. I brought her back to the cave, and I sat there for an entire day, contemplating my decisions. I was a few hours away from starving to death. I made the quick and desperate decision to eat her raw flesh. We were very near, or even on, Algonquin grounds, or some town name or something, I don't know. And that had something to do with what happened after I ate human flesh. I suddenly became very, very hungry after I ate a single chunk of flesh, and in a few minutes I had eaten her entire body clean. The hunger was slightly relieved, and I was no longer cold, and my skin turned deathly pale. I roamed the woods for a couple of days while I grew at an extreme rate, eventually stopping at around 8 feet tall, and my fingernails had grown into very long claws. I was somewhat sane, but I was driven by hunger and the urge to hunt. I became stronger, faster, more durable. I killed a very large deer. Um, yeah, my sister just came in. But I was driven by hunger and the urge to hunt. I became stronger, faster, and more durable, and I killed a very large deer the first week after my transformation. I ate the entire thing, even the bones. I cleaned its skull and wore it over my head, using it as a kind of armor. Despite my appearance with the deer skull, I was a true Wendigo, born out of desperation and hunger. I left the area, eventually killing 16 people and being responsible for many unexplained disappearances before I made it into America, where I made my way from Washington to Oregon, killing dozens of people and deer along the way. I slowly regained my sanity and was able to talk and hold very short conversations by the time I made it to Washington. Still, I forgot many social norms and what would make a human. As a Wendigo, one of the largest and strongest in the country, I fought many other cryptids and cryptid hunters. Big Bigfoot got jumped. I had a very few particular run-ins with a cryptid hunter named Zach, who profusely hunted me with huge ass fucking guns. I first met him in 2017 when I stayed in Oregon for quite some time. I was in the forest hunting for stray hikers and campers when I heard a rustling 50 meters in front of me on a hill. I could notice this very easily, being that all the animals went silent whenever I was in the area. Damn, this man really do be a menace. I turned to look at the source of the noise. When I was hit with a large rifle bullet, I stumbled back. The bullet had lodged itself between my ribs, but had not fully pierced through. I picked the bullet out and ran off, circling the source a few hundred feet away and attacking from behind. I found the guy, who was very tall for a human, about a foot shorter than me, making him 7 feet tall. He was holding a large rifle and looking around, holding it up. I jumped out from behind him, startling him, and he shot a single round in my direction, and I slammed my hand down into his torso, sending him flying into the air. As he flew back 10 feet and narrowly missed the tree, I ran to him about to go for the finishing blow, but he pulled out a large pistol. "Fuck you," he yelled. He fired the pistol, and instantly a dozen rounds slammed into my torso and head. I was instantly sent back. I ducked behind a tree for cover as I let my wounds heal, making distance as I tried to sneak up on him again. The hunter, Zach, started firing his pistol whenever I made noise, and I decided to fuck it and run. As I ran forward, taking several non-lethal hits before I tried to bite his head off and missed. Zach slammed a large knife into my neck, and I jumped back, pulling it out, throwing it back at him. The blunt part of the handle hit his leg, and he fell onto one knee and fired blindly again. Why has the music stopped? I picked him up and chucked him. He hit a tree and his armor got caught in a tree branch as he yelled. he pulled out another fucking pistol. Okay, this writes like a 12-year-old telling a story to his friends. But like nothing in this story actually happened. He pulled out another fucking pistol from the leg holsters. I began running to him, and he put 10 shots into my legs. I fell flat on my fucking face and slid on the ground as Zack jumped out of a tree with a tomahawk. I scrambled to get up and narrowly avoided a huge tomahawk swing. I grabbed his arm and bit a chunk out of his biceps. Zack jumped back and he actually fucking pulled another pistol from his left thigh and emptied the automatic pistol onto my face. I fell onto the ground and took cover behind a tree as he peppered it with bullets. I tried to run over to another tree for cover. He emptied another magazine into my torso as I slowed down. I was significantly bleeding, with dozens of bullets lodged into me, and I was getting tired. Zack wasn't doing too well either, and I grinned and laughed when I saw him reach into his vest and pull out another magazine, only for there to be none. He was out of ammo. "Shit," he said. I ran forward with my claws outstretched, and I was about to rip his fucking head off. Bro, like, you don't need to curse outside of dialogue. Rip his head off and shit down his throat? What? I just read that second part when I noticed he was grabbing something from his vest. I tried to stop and dodge the attack, but I got too close and he pulled his fucking backup tomahawk and managed to swing at my head. He swung the tomahawk directly into my skull and cracked it, but he was using only one arm. The swing significantly weakened. Blood poured out of my head and I stumbled, trying to grab the man before he got away. He threw a knife at my head, missing as he retreated and walked deeper into the woods. I pulled the tomahawk out of my face and threw it on the ground as I spat blood. I didn't know when or how I was going to kill that motherfucker. I see. Someone in the comments just said fuck. Alright. Final story. I saw my reflection blink. Okay, so this is one of my first posts in a very long time, so my grammar is very bad. Okay, so I was at my grandma's house. It was about 2018 because my parents were in a honeymoon vacation in and I was about to sleep in my grandma's room. It's important to note that I slept on the floor right beside a mirror. Bro, I would hate that. I hate sleeping near mirrors. My grandma is very strict when it comes to cell phones at night, so she takes all the phones until morning just so we can sleep better. I was very bored at like 2 a.m, so I decided to make faces at the mirror and just try to keep myself awake. I was making faces and boom, I saw my own reflection blink. I was so scared at that moment, but I couldn't make any noise, so I decided to roll over and try not to watch the mirror for the whole night. And I know it was not a nightmare because I actually sent out a message to my best friend. It was there when I woke up, so yeah. Okay, so firstly, how do you send a message to your best friend and it was still there when your grandma had your phone? And secondly, like that's a phenomenon where like okay, so it's the same thing with Bloody Mary, where like at that late your brain is very tired. So if you like look at your reflection for long enough in the night, your brain gets bored and makes up images and kind of demonizes your face a bit. So honestly, it isn't that surprising that you saw yourself blink. In fact, you should be glad that you didn't see something worse, because like I said, that's how Bloody Mary works. So if you saw some scary shit, that have been we worse. Anyway, that's the last of today. Brave gone. Bye.